ginasta, atleta que manda muito bem aí na ginástica. Já nas suas séries de pistol, Luísa Dias lado a lado com Carmen Navarro. Já temos 1 minuto e 10 de prova.
Isso aí, duas atletas despontando na liderança aí. Os atletas aguardando aí para a tentativa de handstand walk sobre o obstáculo. Alguns atletas com um pouquinho de dificuldade. Nós temos aqui raias de número 2.
É isso aí, atleta Luísa Dias, lado a lado com Carmen Navarro, realizando o primeiro round de single leg squats. Chegando agora também a atleta Natália Bencari da Vitória CrossFit para suas séries de single leg squats. Luísa Dias e Carmen avançando para o retorno do handstand walk. Carmen Navarro um pouco à frente, Luísa Dias também já na volta do handstand walk do obstáculo.
Também trabalhando na série de single leg squats, Sasha Nievas e Natália Bencari. São as atletas que já iniciaram a primeira série de single leg squats. Luísa Dias, Carmen Navarro já retornando do handstand walk.
Raia de número 5, atleta Sasha Nievas, também nas suas séries de single leg squats, lado a lado com Natália Bencari. Luísa Dias teve que retornar aqui para a série de handstand walk, passando novamente pelo obstáculo. Finalizando o seu primeiro round, vai abrir agora o seu segundo round, Luísa Dias. Carmen se aproximando de completar os seus muscle ups e vai voltar para o obstáculo no handstand wall. Carmen Navarro, Nirvana CrossFit.
É isso aí, é ela que lidera, fechando a segunda série de 9 muscle-ups. E agora
atleta da raia 1, Camila Gonçalves, e atleta Cris Schmidt com dificuldades aí, assim como a atleta Luanete no percurso da handstand wall. Pois é uma surpresinha aí que Dave Castro colocou para os atletas esse ano. Luísa Dias avançando em mais uma série, seguindo na liderança a atleta Carmen Navarro.
Isso aí, a única atleta a iniciar a segunda série de single leg squats. Carmen Navarro está na raia de número 4. E agora sim, Luísa Dias chegando.
Carmen Navarro e Luísa Dias lado a lado. Carmen na liderança da bateria, 4 minutos e 20 de prova, chegando agora. Luísa Dias avançando. E as atletas no obstáculo aí na tentativa dessa primeira volta, Daniel, no handstand wall, tendo um pouco de dificuldades com esse obstáculo. Um objeto novo aí para os atletas, hein?
É isso aí, novidade, alguns atletas passando sem nenhum problema, outros atletas com muita dificuldade, alguns atletas ainda não conseguiram passar pela primeira vez pelos obstáculos, chegando a 5 minutos de prova.
5 minutos de prova, atleta Carmen Navarro vai finalizar aí, ó, o seu segundo round de 45 single leg squats. Na liderança da prova, atleta Carmen Navarro e Luísa Dias se aproximando também das suas últimas repetições. Avançando Luísa Dias.
E Carmen Navarro já caminhando para fazer o retorno aí no handstand walk e abrir a última série.
Isso mesmo, Daniel. Segundo round aqui para as meninas, completando já o segundo round. Atleta Luísa Dias também na volta do handstand walk. Chegando Sasha Nievas, Atleta já na série de 45 single leg squats.
E Carmen Navarro finaliza aí o segundo round, vai abrir agora o terceiro e último round agora com mais 9 bar muscle ups. 6 minutos de prova.
6 minutos e 10 de prova. Carmen Navarro, raia de número 4, iniciando seu último round agora, o terceiro round. Atletas na tentativa do handstand wall, nesse obstáculo. Vamos incentivar as atletas, gente, que estão aí, ó, nessa tentativa de handstand wall. Vamos que vamos, atletas.
E olha só quem está próximo de fechar aí o segundo round também, a atleta Sasha Nievas na raia de número 5. Nos últimos single leg squats do segundo round.
Luísa Dias, no seu terceiro round também, já nas séries de muscle ups. Logo depois, mais uma passagem pelo handstand wall. 7 minutos.
Empatadas agora, as duas atletas terminando juntas a última série de muscle ups, mas quem começa a passagem pelo obstáculo primeiro é a Carmen Navarro, que passa com sucesso pelo obstáculo, mantém o controle e vai direto. Não, decide quebrar o handstand walk, agora vai a segunda metade.
É isso mesmo, 7 minutos e meio, Sasha Nievas. Já de volta também, Daniel, na sua sequência, Natália Mencari, passando pelo obstáculo.
Fechando sua última passagem pelo handstand wall, Carmen Navarro, e agora são 54 repetições para ela fechar a prova. Vamos chegar em 8 minutos.
Isso aí, chegando em 8 minutos. Últimos 54 single legs para Carmen Navarro. Time cap de 13 minutos. Luísa Dias passando pelo percurso do handstand wall. Se preparando já para sua volta. Seus últimos single leg squats.
E olha só, galera, lá na raia de número 9, a Luanete Alveu da CrossFit Condado, quase concluindo aí a passagem pelos obstáculos. Vamos apoiar aí as atletas das outras raias também que estão com um pouquinho de dificuldade. Vamos dar aquele apoio aí para elas conseguirem passar aí o obstáculo. A Luanete Alveu, a Cris Schmidt e aqui também a Kelly Edelman e Camila Gonçalves. Vamos lá, galera. Todo mundo torcendo para todas as atletas que estão na arena. 9 minutos de prova, últimas repetições para Carmen Navarro, só mais 9 para ela fechar a prova.
9 minutos de prova, Luísa Dias avançando também rapidamente aqui nas suas últimas repetições. Carmen Navarro se aproximando de completar a prova. Terceiro evento do dia para Carmen. Luísa Dias avançando e Carmen fecha a prova.
Tempo oficial 9:20 para Carmen Navarro. Quem vai abrir também a série final aí é a Constanza Sepúlveda, que está na raia de número 7, fazendo sua última passagem pelo handstand wall. Natália Mencari também vai abrir a série final já. Próximo de 10 minutos de prova, nós vamos até 13.
Luísa Dias se aproximando das suas últimas repetições de single leg squats. Última série para ela, para completar os 3 rounds de 54 single leg squats. Luísa Dias fechando a prova. 10 minutos e 15 de prova, restando pouco menos de 3 minutos. Atletas ainda na tentativa do obstáculo do handstand walk, Daniel. Sasha Nievas também abrindo seu último round. Vamos incentivar as atletas. Elas que estão aí na tentativa do handstand wall. Torcida, faz barulho. Vamos incentivar as meninas.
2 minutos para o final.
Latin American Regional aqui na Arena Carioca 1, Rio de Janeiro. Quase, Cris. Falta pouco. Vamos tentar novamente. É isso aí, meninas. Sasha Nievas passando pelo obstáculo. Vai continuar o percurso agora para o seu último round. 1 minuto e meio. Sasha Nievas.
Olha aqui, vai passar. Quase. A Camila Gonzalez quase conseguiu passar aí pelo obstáculo. Atletas, vocês têm mais 1 minuto e 15.
É isso aí, Daniel.
A Constanza Sepúlveda passando pelo obstáculo. Seguindo em frente aí para sua última série do handstand walk. Agora minuto final, atletas. Último minuto.
Último minuto, Natália Mencari abrindo aí o seu terceiro round. Sasha Nievas acelerando para suas últimas repetições de single leg squat. São 54 repetições. Assim como a atleta Constanza Sepúlveda também aqui na tentativa já de fechar essa prova, faltando 30 segundos.
30 segundos agora.
Últimos segundos para elas, 20 segundos atletas. 15 segundos.
Vamos para a segunda bateria, onde teremos Maíra Medina, Daniela Carvajal, Andréia Pinheiro, Larissa Cunha, Suzana Eto, Eliana Jimenez, Yasmin Arroyo Loaiza, Tatiane Freitas e raia de número 6.
Chegando em 5 minutos de prova, atleta Yasmin Arroio também aqui já na sua série de 45 single leg squats. Olha ela!
Larissa Cunha avançando!
Larissa Cunha, para seu retorno, vamos ter recorde talvez, Daniel Abrão?
Eu acredito, hein? Mantendo essa parcial aí que ela fez até agora, ela pode bater o tempo da bateria anterior. Nós temos menos de 6 minutos e ela já vai entrar aí na sua série final, assim que completar essa passagem pelo handstand wall.
É isso aí, Daniel, 5 minutos e meio de prova. Larissa Cunha no seu retorno do handstand wall para abrir o terceiro e último round. Lembrando que o time cap dessa prova é de 13 minutos. Ela vai para o seu terceiro round, dando um show aí de ginásticos para vocês na raia de número 6, Larissa Cunha, CrossFit Crown. Andréia Pinheiro também abrindo mais um round aqui, Daniel. Nos aproximando da metade do time cap. Temos ainda mais 2 baterias do individual feminino.
E chegamos à metade do time cap, agora 6 minutos e 30. Últimos muscle-ups para a Larissa Cunha.
E Yasmin Arroio também voltando na sua sequência de handstand wall para abrir o terceiro e último round já. E as atletas seguem na tentativa aqui do obstáculo. A torcida pode fazer barulho para incentivar as meninas aqui, ó.
E olha só, Larissa entrando agora na sua última passagem pelo obstáculo no handstand walk. 7 minutos de prova para, em seguida, abrir a sua série final de 54 single leg squats.
Isso aí, Daniel, 7 minutos de prova agora. Já passamos aí da metade e ela voltando já para o seu último round, Larissa Cunha. Andréia Pinheiro completando mais um obstáculo também, Daniel. Ela que é atleta categoria Master já, Andréia Pinheiro.
É isso aí, nós falando bem agora só. Últimas apenas 54 repetições separam Larissa Cunha do fim da prova e possivelmente o tempo mais rápido do dia. 7 minutos e 50.
É isso aí, Larissa Cunha já avançando com o seu single leg squats sem dificuldades, são 54 repetições. Suzana Eco também de volta para mais um round, assim como Andréia Pinheiro. Vamos para 8 minutos e meio. Larissa Cunha em suas últimas repetições. Olha só! Olha o incentivo! O atleta passou Cristiane Niff pela primeira vez no obstáculo, Daniel.
É isso aí, uma salva de palmas para a atleta Cristiane Niff na raia de número 1 da RD CrossFit, passando aí pelo obstáculo. Depois de muitas tentativas ela conseguiu, manda bem, parabéns.
Larissa
9 minutos de prova.
Vai fechar a prova. Larissa Cunha, eu quero ouvir a torcida para Larissa.
9 minutos e 14, tempo não oficial da Larissa, fechando a prova.
9 minutos e meio de prova. Atletas já em suas séries de pista, ou quem vem também para o seu último round, Daniel Abraão, atleta Yasmin Arroio, raia de número 3.
É isso mesmo, olha só, a Suzana Eto e a Andréia Pinheiro movendo o dumbbell aqui para indicar o início do último round.
Vamos que vamos, atletas! Andréia Pinheiro e Suzana Eto, lado a lado, duas brasileiras aqui, vão para o retorno do handstand wall, para o último round, faltando agora 3 minutos. E ela tá chegando, Yasmin Arroio e a atleta Cristine, ela que conseguiu fazer a sua passagem aí, Daniel, pelo obstáculo. Vem feliz agora no single leg squats, hein? Sorrindo.
Soltinha agora no single leg squat, agora na rádio depois de conquistar o obstáculo aí pela primeira vez. Bom, parabéns a ela, 10 minutos e 30 segundos, temos 2,5 para o final, vamos ver aí. Tudo indica que a Yasmin Arroio vai fechar a prova, está nas últimas repetições. Vamos ver se mais alguém consegue completar essa prova antes do apito final, aos 13 minutos.
É isso mesmo, chegando nos últimos 2 minutos de prova, atleta Yasmin Arroio, agora sim, em suas últimas repetições de single leg squats, Suzana Eto abrindo o último round.
E agora sim, só caminhar e fechar a prova. Um minuto e meio para o fim da bateria.
Essa é a nossa bateria de número 2. Temos mais 2 baterias. Andréia Pinheiro também abrindo agora o seu terceiro e último round nos Muscle Ups. Atletas, nos aproximando do minuto final.
Um minuto.
Atletas, 50 segundos. Torcida, vamos incentivar, fazer barulho aí para as atletas, as nossas meninas aqui em ação na Arena Carioca 1. A torcida faz a diferença nessa hora. 40 segundos.
E agora 30 segundos para o fim da bateria.
Suzana Eto completando o obstáculo. 20 segundos. 15 segundos.
E atenção, atletas.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fim de prova.
Tempo. Parabéns, atletas. Uma salva de palmas aí para todos os atletas dessa bateria. Nós vamos agora para a terceira e penúltima bateria da prova 3, evento 3. E as atletas que compõem a próxima bateria são...
Through 2 events, the Galga Queen, Simona Quintana, is in first with 156 points, but on her tail, everybody. Anita Parvati, Tata Hibani, Vivian Aiello, Cecilia Ramirez, VML, and Brenda Castro, all the closest striking distance. Brazil and Mexico, top of the ranks. Let's take a look at what the event test is for number 3. Bar muscle-ups instead of ring muscle-ups because of our equipment limitations with the truck strike in Brazil. Then a handstand walk involving a single stair and ramp obstacle instead of 2. And then a 36, 45, 54 single leg squat challenge. You look in the middle and you'll see your leaders coming into this heat. Jimena Delamar, Leah Schmidt, who finished 3rd in event 1, Rosana Prado, who had a great event 2 yesterday. This is your grouping of ladies trying to make a move into your top 10 and put themselves potentially in heat 4 come tomorrow.
They're going to try to make a move to get in a top 10, but they still actually have a legitimate shot at getting closer to the top position. From first to 15th is only a 46-point difference. That's the difference between third and fourth on the men's side coming in today. And look what happened after that event. So this event in this implement, it is so, I would say it's a miracle that these handstand walk obstacles actually made it here for the competition. They were like smuggled onto a bus and just snuck through barricades and
they got here
arrived
at 1 a.m.
Right, 1 o'clock in the morning. So the fact that I would say the single most important piece of equipment at the regional level is these handstand walk obstacle course, and the fact that we even have half of them here is a game changer come how challenging this event has become.
Again, there is a truck strike in Brazil, so the CrossFit equipment held up in a barricade. More than 500 highways are blockaded by the striking truck drivers across Brazil. A protest against rising diesel prices. And of course, as is everything, it is an election year in Brazil, so there's politics involved as well as we reach day 6 of that strike. CrossFit community coming together. You see the dumbbells, those work as the chess pieces, which are caught up in the blockade. Dumbbells, they got through as well, along with those handstand walk obstacles. There is Leah Schmidt, had a great triple three, came in 3rd place in event 1, 3 bars of death was death. She came in 25th.
It posed to be a bit more challenging, but what's been interesting about starting this regional off with these 3 type of single modality events is that a lot can change very quickly. When you have just basically cardiovascular endurance tests in event 1, stretching out to 45 minutes plus, and then you go to the barbell where it's heavy weights and 3 different movements, and then you throw in this handstand walk obstacle, which is proven to be a make or break portion of this event for a lot of athletes, especially on the men's side. You know, you had Andres Sanchez, who was sitting in first, and we're like, guy's sitting pretty, got a 1st and 2nd in events 1 and 2, and then couldn't even finish the 3rd round because of this obstacle. So when you look at the 3rd heat, and you're like, well, I hope they get in the top 10. These women are so tightly packed together from 1 to 15, it's only 45 points. That's nothing in terms of how many events we have left to go. This is the 3rd event. We're not even halfway through. So a lot can change very quickly after this 3rd event for the women.
Big Friends Games competitor as a team last year, Milena Rodriguez, out of CrossFit Big Recoleta in Buenos Aires, Argentina.
That cheer you hear and that ever-smiling Prado in the center lane gray tank pink shorts is that she made it across the obstacle course. And by the way she celebrated, I'm not sure if she thought that was actually going to be a possibility coming into this weekend. So regardless of what happens for her in the pink shorts, that's a big win.
Watch the setup, the way she slowly approached that handstand walk and almost gingerly marching herself forward and is through the 2nd piece of it, now onto the pistols. And the hard thing with Prado is being able to read her emotions. I can't tell if she's smiling because she's happy she made it through. Prado always has that smile on her face while she was rowing yesterday. Pain? No pain. I'm happy. 4 minutes in. This is incredible.
This permanent smile.
Former ballet and jazz dancer professionally and circus performer, traveled the world in China as a dancer. She went to Italy, dancing Brazilian and samba rhythms, and then circus in the US with Hermanos Vazquez Circus. Different physique with CrossFit though, and that's why that is what she does now. It's a different type of lifestyle to be a dancer and to be this kind of athlete. There's Milena Rodriguez. She had, like we talked with Leah Schmidt, a good event and a tough event on day 1. She was 29th in event 1, 8th in event 2, 19th overall, but this goes back to the point at the beginning. A lot of room to move. She's only 66 back.
Yeah, we had 4 total events left to go to see what will happen at the top of the leaderboard. And what we've seen on the men's side is these first 3 heats have a major impact on what happens in that 4th and final one.
It is not an easy task to move the 70-pound chess piece. I mean, it doesn't necessarily substitute for a ring muscle up versus a bar muscle up, but what's the regular chest piece weigh?
Oh, it's 5 pounds maybe.
So we've added a farmer's carry basically into the workout. Lane 3, Antonelli Nicole. Sao Paulo, Brazil. And look at the way she just cranks out the pistols. There's a rhythm and a bounce to it.
It's almost like a single leg squat running man.
I mean, see the little hop step where she pops down, pops up, slides back, goes right into it, doesn't have to stop to catch herself.
Well, part of that is just to establish control at the top of the movement. What you don't want to do is that even at that speed, if you rock straight into the next side or next leg, is that there is a possibility to just lose your balance and get a couple no reps. And the challenging part there is you get one on the right side, you have to redo that right side before you can go back to the left. So establishing that top position I think is a smart move, and just kind of pace it out just a little bit. You don't need to blow it out of the water in the set of 45 when you have 54 waiting for you after this.
There was another small round of applause. You can see in the middle of the screen, Prado trying to get back over the handstand obstacle now. There's kind of a gasp as she tries to complete the obstacle back to the rig for her next round of muscle ups. In the meantime, we've got another dumbbell moved all the way down to the end in lane 3. So the final round for Antonelli Nicole. Back to Leah Schmidt here. We'll see how she does in this event just behind the leaders. She is on her round of 45 pistols. This is her favorite movement. You would expect her to be able to pick up some time here potentially. We're more than halfway through. And that's an artful way to get off the obstacle. We've seen some highlight reel ones.
I mean, it's a cute way to fall, but you know, what we're trying to do is get over it. And the problem that we've seen is that this is Milena Rodriguez's fifth attempt to get through. She gets past it on that one in the upper part of your screen, so she's been stuck on that obstacle for the last about 90 seconds to 2 minutes. She was well ahead the rest of the field coming into this third round. There's really no one else challenging her in this heat, however. At the 8-minute mark, the time to beat set in the last heat by Larissa Cunha, 9:15. So she's gonna have to move on these pistols, and she can. And just look how fast she's going side to side. So she's got her work cut out for her, but with that speed, she could get under that 9:15 mark.
That time to beat was set by Cunha in heat 2. The time to beat after heat 1 was about 10 seconds slower, 9:23, set by Carmen Navarro. And we're closing in 30 seconds away, and 18 single leg squats remaining in lane 1 for Milena Rodriguez. She's got a chance, but she's got to go. 9 in 14 seconds, and she has to position herself on that line, a costly tick there on the clock. Hand is up, coming down the home stretch. She's got to get over the red line, though, to beat the time. She will not, but is dang close. And Rodriguez sets herself up potentially to finish second here in event number 3. Now, there is still a heat to follow.
She might have missed that by tenths of seconds, if at all. It's 9:15.01, I believe, is the unofficial time for Cunha. So that might just be 1 second behind. 2 seconds, so 9:17 unofficially we're seeing up here on the board. And that's a great score coming in. However, she was on pace to be closer to 8s, maybe even the high 7s. And that third walk over the obstacle course on the way back, you know, it shows you, it's like it all comes down being consistent from start to finish. You know, just because you went out fast doesn't mean you can finish fast.
Just 22 years old and already the fittest woman in Argentina. Schmidt just finished the muscle-ups, back to the handstand walk, up the stairs. You can go back down if you need to. It is not a no rep until you fall off. Racing up ahead and down into the squats quickly, Antonelli Nicole, and again to this rhythm. It's almost like she's dancing to the music. Watch the way her arms come back as well.
Well, I was kind of hoping the DJ would pick up on it and play a different type of beat for this type of single leg squat that she's doing.
She's close to this beat.
I mean, look at her from the side, I'm telling you. That's the CrossFit Running Man.
All the kids are doing it. They're going to teach that in CrossFit Kids. Can she be second in this heat? She does have competition on her tail in lane 5. Jimena Delamere, but she is at least 9 pistols back.
When you look at the field, we actually have 4 women trying to get through this last set of 54 between Schmidt, and in lane 8 you have Vanessa Benvenides as well.
Exactly 9 reps back is Delamere. Schmidt behind her, and just cranking them out in lane 8 is Benavides. The cap is 13. In an 11:59 is Antonelli Nicole. 3 more should be able to finish here if they can continue with this rate in the next 50 seconds. Luana Suarez has just moved herself into her final round. Will be tough for her to finish, but see if she can add some more reps. Prado behind as well. There's a finish for Jimenez and a finish for Leah Schmidt. Now can Benavides get over in the next 25 seconds? Grabbing the bottom of that shoe as she works. That is allowed. And that's a no rep. And with time to spare, 12 seconds of it, that's a finish here in Heat 3 for Vanessa Benavides out of Tigran, the teammate of Brenda Castro. And the heat is done. The groundwork is laid for Heat 4 and our leaders. The Galga Queen, Simona Quintana. We'll talk about it more, Chase, but she was the last woman in, and she is first through 2 events.
Yeah, you come in at the final spot to get in, and now you're sitting on top of the leaderboard. And when you come in, she's talking about how she wanted to have fun and enjoy herself, and that sounds all well and good. But now you are the forefront. You are the face of the Latin American regional on the women's side currently. So if you've never been to regionals before, let alone find yourself in first place, and you were just happy to be here, that is a monumental weight thrown on your shoulders. So I'll be very curious to see how she handles that going in to day number 2.
To put it in perspective, 15 women from Central America were selected for regionals. On the South American side, 25. Now, you get down to the numbers below that because some of those women will select to come on teams. 20 of them did, 2 more declined their invitation to regionals. So Quintana is only here in lane 5 as the 36th place woman in South America because of what happened in front of her clearing traffic. And Quintana is grabbing the brass ring. The history she is chasing, 36th in her region coming in. The lowest seed anybody has entered a regional and made it to the games with. Recent history, 45th in the Northwest by Cody Anderson back in 2014. He wound up 22nd at the games. Again, Quintana, 36th. It's elite company, and it's just defying the odds.
Well, it also shows you that it's completely doable, but it's just how do you handle the pressure in this event? And it is this event specifically because there's such a major challenge in the middle, and it is that handstand walk. So she'll miss her first attempt. So how do you handle that pressure? Brenda Castro, this is the one we've been talking about leading up to day number 1. Now, when you kind of look at her finishing places, she had a great finish in the long endurance event, not so great in the second event relative to what she thought she was capable of. But she's only 20 points out of that first place position. So what looked like on paper is maybe, you know, is she up to par where we thought she is? She's only 20 points out, and this is how she needs to start day number 2.
Fittest woman in Latin America. 4th in event 1, 14th as you referenced in event 2. So 6th overall right now. 90 seconds into a 13-minute cap. 9 bar muscle-ups. It replaces the ring muscle-up, then the handstand walk over the obstacle, then 15 feet flat ground into the pistols. Handstand walk back to the beginning to start it all over. It is 3 rounds, and you do not have to handstand walk at the end because you reach the end of the lane, just cross the finish line. The one hiccup that is added to this region is that you have to carry your chest piece, which is a 70-pound dumbbell, after you do the pistols. We don't have chest pieces, we have dumbbells, they're heavier, but you get the reprieve of only 1 obstacle in the handstand walk and bar muscle ups instead of rings. I think a lot of them would take the trip. There's Castro coming down off the steps and getting set to begin in the correct rig. Her second round of 9 bar muscle-ups. The difference between the bar muscle-up and the ring muscle-up, enormous in terms of what it takes, but also how it taxes the body.
Absolutely, and when you look at the difference between the two is the ring muscle-up, the way most of these athletes will receive that bottom position. If you look at the bar muscle-up, they land very high in the hip. It's just a light or small lockout of the arm. For the rings, you land in such a deep bottom of the dip position, is that as much as it taxes your chest, shoulders, and triceps, see how high they land? They kind of land on their hips, and just a slight lockout. Brenda Castro landing a little bit lower. But the demand on the upper body for a ring muscle-up is so much greater than it is a bar muscle-up. So what we've seen today is much more racing in this particular event than racing or pacing it out that we saw last weekend.
You saw on that last sprint screen, Costanza Cabrera on the right, who was really working to get into those bar muscle-ups as well. She's been doing CrossFit now for 4 years, and for her, that is a tough event she had to conquer. A little bit overweight when she first started doing CrossFit, used this as a way to get back into shape, and has now turned herself in to a regionals level athlete. Began to improve her conditioning, got interested in competition. When she started, could not complete regular everyday WODs, could not do a pull-up. And here she is on the regional stage. That's the impact CrossFit has on a lot of people's lives. Cabrera to the nth degree. 4:13 into a 13-minute cap. Best time to beat, Larissa Cunha in heat 2. Got it done in 9:14.
Brenda Castro still leading this heat. She had a little bit of a trouble getting over the obstacle or handstand walk obstacle after the second set of bar muscle-ups, but 9:15 being your time to beat set in the previous heat. The time split, if you're seeing if she can stay on pace, is to finish that handstand walk obstacle right about 5:50. So she has a minute to kind of see where she's at pace-wise that Larissa was on in the previous heat.
Yeah, 9:15 for Cunha. My apologies on that. I wrote it down a second too soon as she crossed that finish line. Castro is your leader at the moment. She does have, in the blue shirt behind her, a couple lanes over to the right, your number 1 right now in the overall standings, Simona Quintana. 22 years of age, out of CrossFit Frontera in Chile. And you can see the laboring in each of these pistols. Look back to the last heat, the way Antonelli Nicole just bopped back and forth to the rhythm. swung the shoulders. We're seeing a little bit of a different approach here for Quintana. A lot of focus. Each pistol looks a little bit different. She's grabbed her feet. She's spread her arms just for balance. But she is toward the front of the pack, chasing Brenda Castro.
I think it's not the cleanest reps or the fastest reps we've seen, but she's still second in this heat behind Brenda Castro, who's third from the bottom in the green shorts, working into her second handstand walk obstacle of the second round.
Uphill, down the stairs, and then downhill again. And it's okay. It does not count as a no rep until you fall off that obstacle. You can go up, you can go down, you just can't go around. And she rolls through at the end. She's good past the line of demarcation, which is right at the bottom of the steps.
I say that's one heck of a save on the ramp portion of this. A lot of times you see people fall back, they just can't save it, but she kicked that leg forward just as a counterweight, and that's one of the things these athletes really need to think about when they're upside down on that course, is that use your feet to help move you up the ramp or up the stairs, not just your hands.
The way you have to think about it is that when you're handstand walking, you are walking. Your hands are your feet, which means your feet are your hands. And when you walk, usually your arms don't remain motionless at your sides. When you run, they certainly don't. Move your body like normal, you're just inverted.
Well, what you got to think about is that has nothing really to do with your arms, but how you displace your weight. So you said walking upstairs. If you just stood straight up and down and try to walk up a step, it's not going to happen. You actually have to lean your body weight over in front of you, right? Get your center of gravity moving and follow your feet. In this case, follow your hands. So those feet really need to kick forward a lot further than you think. You see, she's now sending out her heels way ahead of her. That's what you need to do. The problem is some of these athletes get in such of a hurry with their hands is that they think they need to move their hands quick to get up these steps. Brenda Castro on the left coming down again. She's come down a couple times. Now, this is what we've seen really slow some athletes up in the first three heats, is this final handstand walk course. Brenda Castro looks like she should make it. She still has to go 5 feet across that yellow marker. As she keeps going, you'll see Simona Quintana on the right, a few muscle-ups left to finish her last set of 9, but Brenda Castro is now in her final set of pistols.
The 3 on their final set in whatever movement right now are Castro, Quintana, and also Costanza Cabrera, who we saw struggling a little bit to get over the bar with the bar muscle-ups earlier, and she is still now, but she's getting it done, and she's in third here on the final heat. Chasing Brenda Castro, the favorite in the entire regional coming into the weekend. There again is Quintana. 8:43 in. The other consideration where core strength comes in here, because it's very easy as you scorpion. You've got to keep your core tight so your back doesn't bend over.
This walk takes everything. Coordination, agility, stability, stamina, everything. You know, you cross the 10 general physical skills and that handstand walk gets all of them. One athlete we haven't said a lot of is Anita Parvati, who's sitting in second by just 4 points. Now, this, I think, is one of those more damage control events with the multiple gymnastic movements, but I want to see where she fits in the top 10 to 15 after this event.
Brenda Castro coming close to being the first finisher here.
Now, here's the important part. Brenda Castro is in 6th place, 20 points out of first place, which is held by Simona Quintana just above her in the white and red. She is not going to get one of those top 3 positions. We've had a 9, 15, 17, and 23. Those are where the big point spreads happen, 6 points per person. When you get into those 4th through 10th, it's only separated by 3 to 4 points. So she will pick up some time, but what she really needs is people between her and Simona. What Simona's doing well is that she's limiting the number of people between her in those top 10 positions. But like I said before, everything's really tight at the top, so that finishing place will matter from the previous heats.
Brenda Castro will finish 5th unofficially here in event number 3 behind Cunha, Milena Rodriguez, Carmen Navarro, and Luisa Diaz. Yasmin Arroyo Loaiza is the next time in 6th place right now at 11:21. So Quintana can displace her for 6th as long as she finishes these final pistols in the next 40 seconds. So 2 women that needed to finish near the top, finishing near the top, and Quintana defending ground right now. There is a point where you stop being an underdog, and Quintana may have reached it officially halfway through the 2018 Latin American Regional.
I think if you polled the athletes and say what event holds the most pressure, it has to be this one because of the failure element of the handstand walk obstacle. So I think once she kind of gets through the halfway point in this particular event, you can start to almost believe in yourself a little bit more because there isn't that element of can I do this or can't I do this. Now it starts to turn into events is how hard are you willing to fight for that position.
In lane 2, Constanza Cabrera is the next in line to finish. Antonelli Nicole got this done in 11:58. She is currently in 7th. That time will come and go, and then 12:21 is the next time to beat with Jimena de la Mer. So there's still a chance here at a top 10 finish in the event for Cabrera, as long as she motors down the home stretch here on her final round of 54 pistols. Talk about Cabrera too, by the way, being able to potentially have a top 10 finish in an event involving muscle ups when 4 years ago she couldn't do a pull-up. Not 1, 0. The growth and development to be on this stage.
I think a lot of people look at this in terms of, you know, getting into CrossFit is like, oh, I can't do what they do. It's like, well, you don't have to. You just got to start somewhere.
It's not that you don't have to. It's at some point they couldn't do it too. 10 seconds until the cap. Cabrera wants to get over, just a no rep. Critical no rep with 2 seconds. Cabrera just misses the cap. I believe she finished the work, but did not get over the line. And Cabrera, cost by the no rep, it likely won't hurt her positioning, but it's just the finish as we take a look back.
Well, Brenda Castro from start to finish comes down off the bar first. She's 3rd from the bottom. Gets over her first handstand walk obstacle. A little shaky at the start, but she was able to kind of maintain her composure. And then once she got there, just never really looked back. You can see Simona just up to her left trying to keep pace with her. But Brenda Castro, we didn't say her name a lot in terms of where she thought she would be, but this is a good way to start day 2 for her.
Event 3 results. Larissa Cunha picks up the event victory, 9:15. Then Milena Rodriguez at 9:17. Castro comes in at 5th with that first place finish in Heat 4. What is an interesting note in terms of the overall standings, a name we do not see there, and a name we did not at all mention in Heat 4, Tata Hebani, who had a great day 1, takes a tough L on the first event of day 3. Let's go down to Teffy.
Brenda, we've seen you walking on your hands in this kind of obstacle, but it was a wooden one. Now that it has a little bit of cushion, was that different to handle? Te hemos visto caminar de manos en este tipo de cosas, pero la estructura es de madera y ahora cambió con un poquito de colchón. ¿Cambió?
Bastante. La superficie se siente muy diferente. Cuando vas avanzando, las manos se hunden poquito, aparte sumándole el desgaste muscular de los bar muscle ups. Híjole, sientes como que de repente no te coordina un brazo con el otro, pero estuvo bien. Era de mis eventos favoritos, hoy es de mis días favoritos y pues vamos con todo a remontar.
Es de sus días favoritos. This kind of workout is one of her favorite ones. It was a little bit difficult now to handle the cushion, but she was able to do it. This is one of her favorite days, and she's eager to get on that top of the leaderboard. Brenda, favorita de aquí. ¿Eso pone un poco de presión en ti? It's a little bit of a pressure that everyone here is rooting for you. How does that feel? Does that impact your performance?
Creo que este año una de las cosas que más aprendí a trabajar fue mi mente. Las cosas que las hago por mí. Si inspiro a mucha gente, la verdad, es algo que llena mi corazón y me encanta, pero esto lo hago por mí. Yo empecé en este deporte porque me encanta y pues lo único que trato de hacer es divertirme, dar lo mejor de mí y los resultados yo creo que se van a dar solos y pues al final de cuentas va a ser lo que Dios quiera y el lugar lo va a tener la que más lo merezca.
The one that's going to win is going to be the one that gets this events better, so she's just trusting in God and see where she plays at. Thank you very much, Brenda. Have a good one.
Muchas gracias. Saludos a México.
Teffy, thank you, and congratulations to Brenda Castro on her work to move up the leaderboard here. I also learned in that the word for bar muscle up in Spanish, bar muscle up. Games.crossfit.com for more results as we roll on from Rio de Janeiro, the first Latin America regionals since 2014. Quintana at the top.